Now, I have some good news for you. Everybody here is going to double their income. It's inevitable. It's guaranteed. Yes, and it's guaranteed as long as you live long enough. In other words, the average income in America goes up at about 3 to 4% a year. So if you live and work another 18 to 22 years by compound interest, you'll double your income. Is this what you had in mind? Say no. No. When do you want to double your income? Now. That's right. Yesterday would be okay. All right. So I want to show you something. I hired a consultant to work for my company, and he showed me something which I've then adapted to different purposes. He left me with a crummy t-shirt and this graph. And that's all. I don't remember anything else he did. But this graph was very interesting. The graph is a graph of income and financial success over life. This is what he said. So he said basically everybody starts off at zero, and this is the amount of money that you can make, and then this is the amount, this is your salary income over the course of your life. Now, this is time, and this is the number of years of your life on this scale. And then up here you have the amount that you achieve at the end of your lifetime. Well, most people start off, and I'll use black as an example, but most people start off earning something in their first job, and then what happens is their financial life is very much like a bad week on the NASDAQ. It goes up, down, sideways. Sometimes they're broke, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're employed, sometimes they make a lot, then they're unemployed, and they're up, down, it's just like this. This basically is what happens throughout the course of their working lifetime. They're broke, they're in the money, they're out, they get them, and so on. And then sometimes they're the windshield, sometimes they're the bug, okay? And at the end of their lifetime, as a result of experience plus luck, this is where they end up. And the average for the great majority of people is about 3% increase per year over the course of your working lifetime. Now, this is very much, what I have found is very much like driving across country on the farm roads. Trying to make real progress, but you're driving across country on the farm roads with no road signs and no road maps. You notice when you're born, you don't get an instruction kit. Okay? In other words, you have to figure it all out for yourself. So most people live their lives like backing up in the night and hitting something that goes thump, and you get out to see what it is, and it's a new job, or it's a new marriage, or it's an investment, or it's a new business. And so most people drive their life watching through the rearview mirror and going thump and hitting something, getting out to see what it is. So imagine you're driving across country, but imagine you're driving a Mercedes-Benz, brand new off the lot, $96,000, sophisticated electronic engineering, beautifully aligned, beautifully laid out in every single respect, but you're lost on the back roads with no road signs and no road maps. You still never make any progress. Half the time you're lost and you find yourself back, and then you're out and you're in the ditch and so on. This is the equivalent of having a great mind, living in a great country, having tremendous ambition, being intelligent, thoughtful, educated, experienced, hardworking, all the qualities that you have. But if you have all those that are in the back road and you have no road signs and no road maps, you could spin your wheels forever. So let's say you're driving along the roads and you're frustrated and you've been driving for years. Your bank account is empty. Tens of thousands of dollars have gone through your fingers. You worry about money half the time. You eat too much, drink too much, watch too much television, have too little money at the end of the month. Does anybody know what I'm talking about here? Okay? Because we've all been there for a long time. And then while you're driving along, your navigator says, honey, you know, there's a freeway over there. Every so often we can see it through the trees, and cars are whipping along it. There's a freeway over there. If we could get onto that freeway, we could really make some tremendous progress. Now, the freeway is knowledge plus skill, which is what you are here to acquire today. So what you do is you say, okay, how do we get onto the freeway? And what you do is start working your way across and figuring out how to get onto the freeway. And once you get onto the freeway, whoa, you put your pedal to the metal and you start to make incredible progress. You start to make incredible progress. And this is the difference between being on the freeway and the back roads. Now, in the course of your working lifetime, there's 2 or 3 factors. First of all, you make far more money on the freeway. This is the additional money that you make. So you're making vastly more in the same period of time, and you end up with vastly more. This is how much you end up with at the end of your working lifetime. The other factor is that this is controlled. This is controlled, whereas being on the back roads is uncontrolled and random. So this is under your control, so you're actually increasing your rate of increase at a faster rate. So in the same number of years, going back to here, in the same number of years that somebody is making a little bit, worrying about money, broke half the time, you're on the freeway and you are just whipping along. Now here's the important point. There's not a whit of difference between the person on the back roads and the person on the freeway in terms of talent, ability, and opportunity. In fact, you could be driving a rusted out, burnt out jalopy spewing pollution out of the back, but if you're on the freeway, you'll make greater progress than a person driving a Mercedes who's on the back roads. There's nothing will make you madder than seeing somebody dumber than you making more money than you. You had that experience? Boy, is that ever a bummer, isn't it? You say, how can that idiot make so much money? And why? It's because the idiot has just gotten onto the freeway. Now, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?